Hello, folks. Once again, I am wearing a button-up shirt with a little necklace thing because today I woke up, I looked in the mirror, and I was feeling so very Italian. I'm feeling so Italian. I'm feeling so Italian. I'm feeling so Italian. So today we're going to be browsing Reddit on r/BadRoommates. Yes, we have been here before. We've seen this before, but there are more harrowing tales to tell on Bad Roommates. So let's take a gander, shall we? And here's the thing, when you watch these, just compare them to thyself. Ooh. Sorry, we gotta skip this Italian thing. Oh. Bad roommate. Oh, bad roommate. Oh. Let's look at the very first bad roommate. Okay, this one's wild. My roommate thinks it's funny to trigger my Tourette's to say the N-word. My roommate, who's 30s and male, and I, 26 female, are both white. I have coprolalia, which is the rude version of Tourette's. My roommate thinks the N-word is just the most hilarious thing ever. He thinks it's even funnier to trigger my disability in a way that forces me to say a racial slur that I don't want to say. I've repeatedly told him that 1, I do not want to say the N-word regardless of if it's voluntary or not, and 2, the more I tick the N-word, the more often it will happen randomly, and the more difficult it is to suppress it in public. I cannot seem to explain to him that ticking the N-word in public can actually put me in serious danger. Yeah. Not everyone wants to hear I have Tourette's after I tick something offensive, especially when it comes to racial slurs. I don't know what to do at this point other than just avoid him and move out when the lease ends. Yeah. Move out. He's actively targeting you for your, disability, and he's actively trying to make your life more complicated. He's not respecting your boundaries. He's not respecting, he's not accommodating in any way. It's only bad. So yeah, move out ASAP. That is horrible. I'm so sorry that this is happening. There's an edit here. Holy shit, this blew up. I'm going to try and clear up some misconceptions I'm seeing in the comments. I've seen a lot of people accusing me of being racist for having an N-word tick. Coprolalia takes what I subconsciously perceive as socially inappropriate and forces me to say it. It doesn't make me say what I'm thinking. It doesn't make me say what I want to say. It usually makes me say things I really, really do not want to say. I've never voluntarily said the N-word. I've also never said Bob doll before it became one of my most common ticks, and yet it happens frequently. Bob doll. There's a tremendous amount of documentation on coprolalia. If you don't believe me, I encourage you to educate yourselves on the condition before berating me for something you don't understand. Let's see what the comments say. I saw a girl at Subway just last week. She was walking in right before me. Her tick was, I've got a gun. Whoa! I felt horrible for her. It only took me a few seconds to recognize it was Tourette's, but that's only because I've known someone who has it. The workers were completely shocked when she first said it, and she quickly explained that she has Tourette's. Luckily, they were kind and didn't say anything, but I can't imagine having to live with that on a daily basis. Jeez, man. God, that's the worst. Oh, she could never be on an airplane. Yo, the amount of things that you can say to get you booted off of an airplane is horrible. Horrible. At that point, like, do you have like a card, like maybe a disability card or like some kind of thing to be like, I have a gun. It's Tourette's. It's Tourette's. Here's the proof. Like how do you fix that? Oh man, that sucks, dude. If you don't have this, be grateful. You know what I mean? Because that could put you in some really tricky situations. There's nothing like fun or interesting or entertaining about that. That's just like, that's tough. Similarly, I don't know if these are twins or cousins in the mental world, but having like intrusive thoughts, like really invasive intrusive thoughts that pop up out of nowhere, and that's really rough too. I mean, but being forced to say it out loud. Imagine that. Imagine being forced to say out loud your intrusive thought. Isn't that a nightmare? Jesus, it's very scary in this day and age. I'm proud of her for being able to actually maneuver in public like that, but yeah, just scary all around. Here's a question. What would happen if somebody had Tourette's, for real? They had Tourette's, and their tick was, I have a gun, I'm serious. And then they correct themselves. Oh, no, sorry, that was Tourette's. I do have a gun, though. I'm very serious. No, it's Tourette's. It's Tourette's. I don't have a gun. I actually do. I do have a gun. You know what I mean? Like, is there a permanent loop? Is there such a thing as a loop in Tourette's where you correct your corrections? You know what I mean? Where you like undermine your higher self? Is that a thing? That's so horrifying. This is so scary. He doesn't care about you or your disability. He's abusing you to entertain himself. Yes. No amount of reasoning will get through to him. You're the party trick and nothing more to this scumbag. Get the hell out of there ASAP. I agree. He's a very bad roommate. Oh. Hi, I have Tourette's too, so I can relate to some of the feelings you have here, and I have to agree with the common sentiment. Try to move out if you can, otherwise try to limit the amount of time you have to be around him. I'm really sorry you have to live with such a scumbag. Imagine, man, you're cooking a meal or something, or, you have to be out in the shared space to, grab something from the fridge or whatever. What a stupid guy, man. I hope he sees this. I hope you're a fan of mine, guy who lives with this girl. I hope you stop it. 30 is too old to be acting like I would expect a middle schooler to. Yup. Who do you live with, Eric Cartman? All right. Moving on. My roommate owes me $1,600, but lives an insta-baddie lifestyle. Hey, back to the video in just a second. Using the internet without a VPN is like watching a concert with a really tall guy in front of you. You can see most of what's going on, but not everything, and you deserve better. Okay, stop it! Get out of my way! Luckily, with today's sponsor, Private Internet Access, you can see everything the internet has to offer. For example, most streaming sites have giant catalogs, but the shows you're allowed to watch vary from country to country. So PIA is a virtual private network that hides your IP address so you can browse from 91 different countries. So let's say you want to watch Friends, but you don't have Max. You only have Netflix. With PIA, you can change to a UK server and watch it without ever having to leave your American couch. And be chill about this, but you can sometimes get lower prices when you browse from different locations, for example, with flights and games and clothing. Isn't that odd? Very odd. PIA also encrypts your internet connection so your data won't be vulnerable to hackers. It's great for keeping you safe on public Wi-Fi. Now, if you use my link, you'll get an 83% discount, which makes it only like $2 a month. $2 a month. Plus, you get 4 months for completely free. It is a great deal, and it truly helps support this channel. So go to piavpn.com/thrasher, and if you're on the fence, they have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's really no downside to trying it out. That's piavpn.com/Thrasher. Thank you for supporting the channel. Back to the video. Here's what I'm thinking. Insta-baddie. I think taking pictures at cool, resorts and stuff. Nice cars, private jets, huh? That's what I think. My roommate was my real good friend up until I saved the day and paid $1,600 in back pay what she owed. And then she left us to go for a trip, potentially letting us get evicted. Alexis, not her real name, had a bit of an unlucky start to her year. She had gotten fired at her hospital job for accumulated tardies. She was jobless for a few weeks because she wasn't getting a call back from one place she had applied for. And when she did finally get a job, she didn't know how to manage her money while getting paid less and went broke. I don't understand why she's not a go-getter when she's in a rough spot, thinking that opportunities and her wishes will magically fall into her lap. If you're used to making money at one level and then suddenly you're making less money, adjusting your spending, that takes a long time to figure out. Takes a while. But obviously she's a, I have so much love for this girl because we've been through a lot together and she's been a great friend, but this has left a real sour aftertaste for me. Yeah! Because she made you pay $1,600 so you don't get evicted. The resentment began in March when I asked if she could drop off all the money orders for the rent before she went to the airport for her trip. I assumed she had all the money together because she was getting her hair, her nails, acrylic full sets on both hands and feet. Money. Yeah, it was like $200+. Already on her flight, I came home to the money orders on the counter. After days of trying to reach her, she wasn't able to get back to me because of her own phone not having service. Blowing up her phone, I tried telling her where the $600 money order was. I think meaning where is the $1,600 money order. She had that much amount of money owed to the apartment, not even paying the month before. She had told me that she knew she wasn't able to pull the full amount of rent, but that she needed that money to be able to survive and spend in El Salvador, a family trip she had planned out for months in advance. Well, clearly you haven't planned it out well enough because you're not paying rent, dude. You're gone before you get back. It's like, okay, I'm gonna find another roommate. They're gonna sublease your place. What? She said that her dad was gonna drop off money for her and he never came. I kept trying to hound her for answers for her to finally respond for me on her time. March rent and her part of February's rent was due in a couple of days. At the end of that, my boyfriend and I fronted the full $1,600 in fear that we would get evicted. I don't know what happened to the so-called tax money she was going to get. I don't know. During her time away, she's also got her new Buick repoed for failed payments. Look, man, money gets in the way of relationships. It gets in the way of friendships. It gets in the way of a lot of stuff. It is a not wise decision to dance with people who are not financially intelligent, because if they're loose with that, they're loose with things that really put you in serious danger of homelessness. And it is hot outside. It is hot outside. You do not want to be outside in the heat. No! When she came back, she explained she was in a bad mental position and extremely depressed. She felt that maybe she could find some clarity if she went home back to the motherland and that she was sorry. Trying to be a good friend, I worked out a payment plan for her to be finished paying me off by August, about $200 bi-weekly or so. She had sent one payment. The next time, weeks later, passed, and when I asked her about it, she didn't have enough, but she could give me like half, $110. After, she explained how she didn't make enough money at her new hospital job, that she needed to set money aside, but what was most irritating to me is how she continued to go clubbing and having her alcohol and blank and her snow benders almost every weekend. She even went to go see a concert and had a whole weekend out of it a few weeks after coming back from El Salvador. At that point, dude, if you're doing drugs and drinking and stuff, no, out. You are out. July rolls around and she pays half of the month's rent because she said she would be finding her own place to stay. The 15th arrives. She's not found a place where to move. I asked her for the second half of the rent. She said she would pay me the following week because we get paid the following Wednesday. Wednesday comes, nothing. Thursday, nothing. Friday, we work together and I asked her for the money again. She said she would, but then right after she ordered breakfast on DoorDash, which is like $40 because she didn't feel good. End of the day, I asked for it again. She tells me that she would ask her mom for help. I waited and waited for her next text and then nothing. At this point, dude, you are enabling this person. I know that you're friends. It doesn't matter. At this point, goodbye. Goodbye. I mean, come on. You don't mess with money. Money, you don't mess with because to me, that's survival. Money equals safety. If somebody's not paying you money, they're very directly making you unsafe. If you start messing with my money, you're messing with my safety. And then that's when like all the guns come out. You know what I'm saying? I have a gun. It was Friday night and she was going to the clubs with her new friend group. She was getting ready in the bathroom looking real cute. I confront her about it and she gets visibly upset. I can tell. I tell her how I don't always appreciate having to look for an answer from her, but you don't have to look for me. You know I'm going to pay you back. No, I'm not relying on your goodwill. I'm not asking for your goodwill and your IOU and your good faith and our friendship, la la la. I'm asking for the money. I still have to ask my mom for the money. I tell her that I need the money for the next day because I have a bill to pay. Finally, she sends the other half of the rent money. Yay, she paid it. Since then, she's been acting real weird, and I can tell she was avoiding me. I've had enough of her BS, and she was moving out soon anyways, so I finally told her what was on my mind. I know I shouldn't be so nice, but I really thought she was my friend. What did you tell her that was on your mind? Oh, I see. It's down here. I gave an extra $300 because you said that's what you needed to complete the last payment, so I need that part at least. And please don't tell me you don't have it because you had money to get your hair, nails, and lashes done. My job is hiring for Friday, Sunday, and Monday day swing position at the rehab place I work for. You can go there, and they pay decent. Put in applications while you have Wi-Fi so that you have something in motion when you get back. That's kind of nice. Like literally you're helping your friend try to find a job. This is a nice thing, and this could have been a lot nastier in my opinion. No, it's not because of that. I think they're responding to the hair, nails, and lashes thing. My intention is not to throw you under the bus or leave this all to you because there's nothing for you to solve. My end of the rent is hard to come up with because it was one thing after another for me. Rent is not the only thing I have on my plate. Being so behind, I can't catch up from one day to the next. A pay period is only 2 weeks. I understand your frustration, but trust me when I say I feel it 10 times more. There's only so much I can do, but it's okay if you don't understand mine. I'm only communicating through Kim's phone at the moment. We're trying to get Wi-Fi for the house, so hopefully I can use my laptop by Monday. Okay, I'm sorry it came out like that, but that's how I saw it in the moment. Now you're being so understanding. Oh my God, you're being so understanding. How am I not going to be upset? Can you blame me? It does seem like you just up and left everything with zero plan. I really do need something because I don't have enough savings to cover it all. I'm sorry I'm putting you through this. You have every right to feel frustrated with me. I understand where you're coming from. I have a plan, but it's not a solid one. Oh, how promising. I can't say I know exactly where I'm going to get all this money by this exact day. Girl, you know what, man? There are so many. DoorDash, do Postmates, do Uber Eats. You know what I'm saying? You'll average about like $20 an hour. It's actually not a great job. I used to do that. But get a part-time job and then do that, separately. There's so many ways to make money. It's not obvious though. It's not, and it's rough, but just get a little second job to help you do things. You have to focus externally. You have to kind of bury your head down and go forward, It looks like here we go. She's starting to give her a piece of her mind. She says, also, friend, I know there hasn't been time to talk, but what I wanted to say was I really need you to pay me back for the money I fronted you back from your trip to El Salvador. It's not cool that you left and I had to pay that money with no time to waste. I worry that if we didn't, we would have gotten evicted. Safety, money is safety. Here I am waiting for you to pay me back, but you would rather spend your money on weekend outings with your friends. I don't think you're respecting me as a friend/person because I work hard to have money put away for various things. I let you borrow it in a time of need, and you don't save your money to pay me back, and not even for the little installment plan we had, which is $200 every other week. That's $100 a week, dude. That's a sweet plan. That's, 1 6-hour Uber Eats shift or tips at a, if you get a waiting job for a night. I let you borrow it in a time of need, and you don't save your money to pay me back, and not even for the little installment plan we have. I think that if you were willing to ask your mom for help with the other half of the rent, you should ask her to help for the grand amount you owe me. I unfortunately cannot be so lenient anymore. I really truly advocated for you to let the time pass, but because I was trying to be understanding, but I'm not able to. She's saying there's things I cannot change. Trust me, the guilt is still there. I did say once I moved out, I would start with the payments again, but I just moved in last night, and I haven't even been paid for the first month yet, so I'm sorry I haven't sent anything. That is true for that person, I'm sure. Like, weasels like this will find ways to make excuses for everything, but I would just stay on it. Stay on it for the next 3 months. Every 2 weeks, be like, hey, just checking in. Venmo request. Boom. Please do not assume my finances based on what I do in my off time. Well, getting your nails done, getting your hair done, going on vacation in El Salvador with your family. I understand tough times. I do understand going through a rough patch and going through tough times. There are notebooks in my attic filled with me understanding that I earned $1,400 a month at my coffee shop job. If I do this thing on the side and this thing on the side, that will bring me up to $1,600 a month. That'll pay for utilities. Back in the day, I had a $7 per day allowance for myself that was outside of necessities. What that means is I could either buy like $150-ish thing a week or go to the movies like once a week, maybe. But outside of that, dude, like I had nothing. I had nothing. And this is a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck, right? I'm sure a lot of you can understand that. And we understand this. But listen, if you owe somebody money and you decide to live somewhat lavishly, getting your nails done and stuff, I understand that it'll make you feel better, but find cheaper alternatives, will you? Regardless, money is security. Money is safety. If you play with money, you're playing with somebody else's safety. It's real. It's real stuff. And it causes people to go nuts because they feel in danger. I think we all completely agree with that. Found my roommate sleeping in my bed with boots on. So I came home earlier than expected yesterday and found her asleep in my bed. We haven't talked about it since, and I'm still trying to figure out if I'm overreacting. She took off some of her clothes but kept her shoes on, even though she knows I hate shoes in my room, which makes me think she did it on purpose. When she woke up, she just laughed and ran out, saying she didn't know how it happened. I was worried something bad might have happened, so I didn't push it at the time, but now with how casual she's been about it, I'm starting to wonder if I'm the one being too sensitive here. At first I thought like, okay, maybe this is like a shared living room and that this bed is in the living area, but no, this is a completely separate room. This is this person's room, and a roommate slept in her bed. Why? I mean, maybe she was a little drunk or something? Is there a reason why she went in there? Maybe she was like FaceTiming her mom and be like, and this is my roommate's room, and then falling asleep. If I found out somebody slept in my bed that I didn't want to sleep in my bed, I'd feel weird, right? Like violated a little bit, Look at this. I mean, look at this dog. This dog is just violated. This dog just has no clue. This dog is like, what is going on with this chick? And shoes in the bed. That's a no-go. Even the dog is like, what the f***? That's probably the only funny part about this, LOL, just how baffled me and my dog both were. We both had just come home, walked into my room, and just stared at her in disbelief. It's in bed with the shoes on. That's really me up right now. Yeah, some people hate that. My girlfriend hates that. Roommate has been using 25 plus rolls of toilet paper per week. Any idea what's going on? What do you mean 25? What do you mean 25 rolls of toilet paper? What is this? Is this something that they're putting there? I have no idea what's going on here. This is very odd. And is this okay, I have a theory. Maybe they use toilet paper instead of paper towels. Maybe there's no paper towels in the house, but 25 rolls of toilet paper? Maybe this is like an OCD thing or something. Here's some strange ways that you can go through toilet paper that you might not think about. 1, tissues. I could go through toilet paper pretty quick if I'm using it as a tissue. 2, I could go through it if I'm placing toilet paper gently down on the toilet seat. I could picture that. 3, did I say blow your nose already? I feel like maybe I said blow your nose, but if you're sick and blowing your nose. 4, that's it. Pooping and peeing. Mostly if you're a girl. Guys don't really use toilet paper to pee. I'm sorry for those of you who are not in the loop, and if nobody's ever told you this before, we just kind of give it a little shake and then rest it in our undies and it should be fine. Yeah, no, I have no idea what this is, and if this is evidence from like the last time they were in there, that's very strange, and this folding pattern is very odd. You know what I think is happening? Perhaps your roommate is practicing the fine Japanese art of origami. and they're all out of origami paper. And so what I say is that on your 1-year friendiversary, you must give them origami paper instead of toilet paper. Oh, here we go. We have a new roommate, female, moved in about a month ago for a short-term lease. Upon moving in, she asked other housemates to take her to shop for toilet paper. Right off the bat, she purchased 6 packs of toilet paper, each pack containing 9 rolls. She puts toilet paper packs in the bathroom. We have witnessed her going through almost 3 packs in a week, using average 25 rolls of toilet paper and quickly filling up our trash can. We even had clogged sewage once, something that hasn't happened for a few years. This picture shows the current state of toilet paper usage. Has anyone experienced this situation before? We can't figure out why a person would need to use this much toilet paper. It is very concerning, and she will flush so much into the toilet, potentially causing other sewage issues. Okay, given that context, yeesh. You know what? Isn't there a thing like in some foreign countries where you don't really flush toilet paper? You kind of like, you do your business and then you put it in a trash can or something. I've always found that very strange. But then again, the U.S. has a lot of plumbing problems. So this is very fascinating. This is really interesting. Yeah, I don't know what this neatly fold. Maybe they're working on lasagna. Maybe they don't know how to use toilet paper and they wipe like with their bare hands and they think toilet paper is to kind of wipe their fingers clean. I don't know. Whatever it is, let's look in the comments and see what other people are saying. This one makes sense. The only thing I can think of is maybe some sort of OCD habit where they're using up an incredible amount. You could try talking with her in a polite and respectful way, let her know you aren't judging her, but just wanted to know if she's okay. And if you do decide to bring it up with her, I would do it one-on-one, not all housemates present. Totally true. It does really seem like an OCD thing. I think, some people will wash their hands 8 times or, we're all thinking OCD. I noticed she'll place a line of paper towels and toilet paper on certain items in the bathroom. I can only see the aftermath. See link for pictures. Let's take a deep dive in here. I'm so confused. This one I almost understand. Okay, so she has contamination OCD. She doesn't want anything touching anything. I think. That's what I think, personally. I don't know. I don't know. But, like, not wanting this to touch that. Like, if I'm at a hotel, right? If I'm at a hotel and I bring my retainer case, I usually put my retainer case and my toothbrush on a little bit of, like, clean toilet paper to just kind of, give it a home base that isn't touching directly on the countertop. But putting the toilet paper on it is really funny. And it's almost smart. I don't know. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. Why does everything look so moist? I have no idea, but I'd like answers as well. A family member of mine, also female, now in her early 20s, has always done this. When we were younger, I would visit their house often, and I'd find myself randomly clogging their toilet. It became so common, I'd have to ask the homeowner to help me unclog. They never seemed upset with me, though I absolutely assumed it was my fault. Time went on, and I'd find the toilet completely filled to the top with toilet paper, unflushable because of the massive amount of TP. I assumed it was one of the 2 kids. My cats will do that, man. My cats will go, meow, meow, meow. Those was just freaking, you know what? My cats are really bad. I missed the button here. This is the button that turns everything. And I missed it. That's what that was. You saw me try to cue it up, and I just completely missed, and that was very embarrassing. That's why I'm not a DJ. I'll never be Mark Rebier. I love that man so much. I'm done with all the Mark Rebier comments. You know why? Because we're twin flames. That's why. If you compliment him, you're complimenting me. We're completely different people. He's literally headlining Coachella. We're actually very different. But I feel like whenever he succeeds, I also succeed. You know what I mean? God, I love that guy. Loop Daddy. Hold on a second. What is this? Oh, I bet you didn't know that was a surprise microphone in here the whole time, did you? Maybe she has a medical condition. If it's causing issues with the plumbing, it probably warrants a chat. Be empathetic and ask what's going on. My daughter lost 2/3 of her intestines and can really use some toilet paper and has caused many clogs. We had to tell her to continuously flush while she's going, and after using a certain amount of paper, then flushing again, and so on, so it's not all going down at the same time. Maybe she needs the same idea if it's really about plumbing. Installing a bidet. Thanks all. Dude, bidets are great! Bidets are great! Oh, bidets are great. I will never go back to a non-bidet household. Never. I will never go back to a non-bidet home. Bidets for days, I says. Bidets for days! I, 35 male, got punched in the face by 35 female, then gaslighted. Is this your roommate? Or is this your, like, spouse? Or your girlfriend? All are bad. Let me slow down a little bit. Let me slow down. All are bad. It doesn't make a difference. I'm just saying if it's your girlfriend or spouse, that's a bye-bye, right? If it's your roommate, that's a bye-bye. There's all our bye-byes. They're just different kinds of bye-byes. Other side normal. Your cheeks are like that already, Mike. One's just a little bit more redder where your cheek is red. I didn't even hit you there. And those little blood vessels or veins are on both sides of your cheek every single day. And if you get hot, it gets red on both sides. But I knew you were going to do this and say, oh, poor me. Poor me. This person is the worst. Not only are they gaslighting and being horrible, I've never seen poor me. That is crazy. All these bursted blood vessels showed up today. Thanks. Boom. And look at that. That's a little cut on his eye. That's rough. I've said this before. I'll say it again. If you make somebody feel in danger, violence is awful. For me, the red line, the no-go zone in relationships, friendships, family relationships, if at any point I feel like I am less safe than I was before in any way, I'm out of this situation. The friendship will be over, the relationship. If I've been with somebody for years and then one day they get really mad and they throw like a coffee mug at me or something, that's a bye-bye. That's a forever, that for me will always be like a forever line in the sand. Like the fact that he's sending her pictures is like, I don't even know what the point is other than just like, letting her know what she did wrong, which is fine, I guess. But I didn't even hit you there, but she's admitting to putting her hands on you. LOL, what? True! So you've got evidence! You have evidence! Take her to court, man. Get her arrested. Go to jail. Go to jail. Don't hit. Don't hit. Oh, this subreddit really, I'm not going to lie. I am not lying to you right now. This subreddit stresses me out, dude. It stresses me out because it's like, it's feeling unsafe, feeling lack of safe is so bad. It's very bad. Bad. Hanging raw meat on the dish rack. What? In what situation is this the move? What kind of meat is that? Is that like ham? Or is that steak? Walked into the kitchen, said, what the hell, and walked straight back. In the corner of the second picture, there's literally the styrofoam tray where the meat came from. Oh, yeah. Is there a situation where you hang meat? The only reason I can think of hanging meat is like if you put a lot of salt on it and you're trying to like cure it. Isn't that how you make like prosciutto? And also there's so much bacteria and stuff there's so much that could go wrong here. What situation does this happen? Can anybody give me a feasible reason why you would hang meat in any situation? Something this small even? To thaw it maybe? But even then, like thawing meat is not even, I'm so confused. I see weird things every day in this subreddit. What the For real, this one you don't even get mad at. You just stand there for 10 minutes pondering whether it's real. Bro, do you live with Jeff Dahmer? Thanks for this, because now I just realized that over-sink dish racks exist, and now I'm getting one. Not going to hang raw meat from it, though. Oh, that is kind of cool. Oh, yeah, dish racks, and it'll just kind of... Oh yeah, you save some counter space? That's not a bad idea. I might look into that. Now this is just so odd. Why would you do that? Maybe it's as a joke. I'm scouring for an answer. That was a new one. Did bro learn how to cook in a forest? What's going on here? What is the point of hanging the meat? Is it like apartment jerky? Let's see. Actual answer. Patting the meat dry and then hanging it to slightly dehydrate the outer layer will help attain Maillard reaction in the pan. The sear, that's that smoking seary thing. As removing the moisture at this point means the moisture won't exit the meat in the pan, which would create an undesirable broiling effect. Okay, so if you pat the meat dry and then maybe hanging it dehydrates the outer layer and it makes it nice, more seared and more interesting. But hey, maybe don't do it above the sink. Maybe don't do it there with all the clean dishes right there. Why would you do that right there? I mean, just pat it dry. Put paper towel around it and set it somewhere for a second. What is this? Bad roommate. Bad roommate. Real question. Real question for you back home. Would you eat that steak? If this person patted dry the steak and hung it because he knew that it was going to enhance the Maillard reaction, you know, the searing, bubbly goodness. If you knew that this roommate was going through this process to make this steak taste amazing, and there's two steaks here. Maybe they're on a date. I don't know. But if they weren't on a date, maybe they were going to cook you some. Would you eat it? Unfortunately, friends, I would eat it. I know. It's so unlike me. I don't want to. There will be a stern conversation about sink meat. There will be a very stern conversation about hanging sink meat. However, I would eat it. I think it's about time for an outro.